Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to a Friday edition of Awesomecalls Trading.com. I'm AJ. I am your host for the next 20 minutes. I would like to just talk to you a little bit about what we traded this morning and how we traded it. Every morning, as you all know, I come in and I'm usually up 2 hours before the market opens. And I study analyst calls like these that you're seeing on the window right now. I study analyst calls. I read them. I read through them. I look at. I subscribe to Briefing in Play Plus, so I'm constantly looking at the gap ups, gap downs, and the reasons why. Um, I'm looking at analyst calls. I'm looking at PR and news out there. Um, Looking at bios. I mean, you name it, I'm all over it. And and then what I do is after going through hundreds and hundreds of reports and analyst calls, a good solid hour and a half of researching and reading. And I do this every day because my job as the owner of Awesome Calls Trading is to provide opportunities. That's why people pay me, not only to train them, to help them overcome fears, anxiety, uh, but more importantly, provide opportunity to make money in the stock market world, opportunity to pay bills, opportunity to live very comfortable life. Because if you're a consistent day trader, uh, someone who comes in with $250 a day mentality, $250 a day is 1250 a week. Okay, so I mean, 4 days is 1,000, 250 is 1250. So let's just say we're 5 days a week, right? So 1250 times 4 is 6,000 a month. Okay. There's a lot of people in the world that can live very comfortably with 6,000 a month, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you do 100, then you're more, to me, if I see somebody making 100, 150, they're probably part-timers. You're supplementing your income. 100, 150 provides you with about 2,200 a month income or 2,000. So, this room can do that. And the fee to be in the room is $6 a day, give or take. So if you think about it, if you're making 150, $100 a day, then obviously you're profiting a pretty high percentage per day. But then there are the traders in here that you know they're full timers that want to do 500 a day. Now, $500 a day will provide you a very comfortable living at 2,500 a week and approximately $8 to $10,000 a month in income. But the key to that is to be consistent. So if you're having a bad day and you lose 100, then obviously the next day you want to make up that plus. So that's when it gets difficult because you're chasing that buck and you want to be consistent. So what I try to teach in Awesome Calls Trading is more than anything, not only to take the trade, but I really have to explain, all the reasons behind each of these trades because I believe that if a trader is more informed why this stock is going to do what it does. And it's really hard sometimes because as the owner, I see the move. I've been doing this for 16 years. The chat room is going almost on 7 years after October, and I actually see the move because I've studied and over the years I've watched the trend of the chart, the stock, the company itself, how it trades, how it's traded over the years, the gap up, the gap downs, what the analysts are saying. So I have a comfort level on each idea that I present, each opportunity that I present. The issues I have every day that I have to keep overcoming with all these members, especially new ones that continue to come in, is I have to kind of teach them what I know. Because a lot of people pretty much, it doesn't matter where they're coming from all over, from every chat room, and they come in here and you're literally your first week is you're a deer in headlights. Have you ever seen a deer in headlights? They just freeze. And the reason why, it's not because they don't want to trade it, it's just because they don't understand it. How is some trader, some chat room, some guy, how does he just predict where the stock's going to go and hit it right to the penny and then it stops on a dime or it hits the area that he's telling everyone to make money at, and then it just stays there, or it stops and then curls up and goes. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine for a second if I was on CNBC talking? Could you imagine if I was in a big at Goldman Sachs or an Oppenheimer just sitting there in the morning talking? Well, Avco's going to do this. It's going to pull up to 265. Let's buy about 20 million shares or 10 million shares. We'll make about 18, 80, 70, 80 million today on that trade. It's like, what? How the fuck do you know it's going to go 265? Because I'm a fucking AG trader. Could you imagine? And yet I do this every day, 5 days a week. Can you imagine if I was at X Capital and I was a trader over there with a $200 million account? Obviously, I wouldn't be buying equity openly. I'd be fucking hiding my buys. You know what I mean? But just think of what kind of talent is possessed in this room, and only the privileged many that are in here get to see it every day, and they're a part of it. And I've always said, if I ever leave Awesome Calls Trading, it's because somebody has approached me with such a large account, so big that you can't even put numbers on it. That would be the day I would say, okay, because then I'm kind of like my own market maker at that point. I could just, I know what I'm doing, and I love what I do. But more importantly, I love helping people. But therein lies that issue that you have to keep teaching and teaching and teaching. And sometimes it kind of drags you down because you see that call, you see that stock doing what you say it's going to do, and yet you still have so many traders that have that deer in headlight effect, where they won't even budge. And if they do take the trade, they'll take $10, or they'll hesitate, they'll procrastinate, or a majority of day traders in today's world, they talk themselves out of it. It's like you ever see a TV show or a commercial where you got the devil on one side and the angel on the other of your shoulder. It's like the devil is just constantly saying, "Don't take the trade. Don't take the trade. Don't take the trade. Don't take the trade. Don't take. Wait, 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 wait. Stocks move 2 points. Wait, wait. Stocks move 3 points, 4 points, 5 points. Okay, now go." And you're looking at the devil like, "Are you? Why did you do that?" Right? And yet the angel over here is going, "Take the trade. Take the trade." Um, let's see, we got an alert here. Maxer. I think that's a small cap stock exploring sell. It could be the Friday crap. Hold on, let me see what price target this is. Oh, yeah, it's a micro small cap. You know what it is? It's a Friday. We need volume in it. Nobody's around. Let people chase it. At the end of the day, it just collapses. All right, so the MAXR Explore Sell Space Remarks. It's just something to jazz up their stock. That's all it is for you. And, well, I just let it, typically something like this just pops and fades, but it's a little early. Probably pop one more time and then just collapse. So it's a Friday type of bullshit PR they put out to get some excitement in stock, because you can clearly see, the last 20 days, they've sold off, and they're like, all the investors are like, what the fuck? Okay, okay, okay. Why don't we just say we're going to explore sell today and pop it? Save face sort of. You know what I mean, boss? But good alert. Thank you. See how see it should just kind of grasp up 6.4. If we hit 644, it should pop in towards the 7 spot. Okay, it's a broken down stock anyway from the earnings from 20 days ago, so it has room probably here, here, and here. Probably the 7 spot. Okay, so just be careful. Don't size in on it. Let's take a look. Let's go back to AFCO. Now, so anyway, as I was rambling on and just trying to explain, my job every day is to present opportunities to many people that come in here with different size accounts. Everyone is different. Some people have $500 cash accounts with buying power of 15, 20,000. Others have 20,000, 50,000, 200,000 to play with, half a million to play with. I have some trusts in here that have millions and millions and millions of dollars at their disposal, and they do very, very well in this room. I have a lot of short sellers in here. So what I try to do every day is provide opportunities for each in every one of these people that come in here. And so today, my I normally start with this small cap stocks up at the top and work my way down. But today, when I see something where I'm so adamant and I've studied so much and I put, my everything about my reputation on the line. And today Avco was that one. Avco, I told everyone in the chat room was going to go to 265 today. The stock was sitting at 253, 255 in pre-market. It took a beating after hours yesterday, and I got up this morning and I went to work. I do what I do. All right. And I just basically told everyone start buying at 255, 256. Don't even look back. If the stock does go down, 250 will be the max. So you have to give it range. Don't get shaken out. I got you. I'm going to walk this thing up to 265 and it will hit. It's down 26 points. Now, a lot of you are going, yeah, well, that looks obvious. The shorts would cover it. I'm like, you need to shut the fuck up. Okay. So Avco didn't go up because shorts were covering it. Okay. Avco went up because the analysts pretty much dictated what the stock price was worth. And what I did, when you pull up Avco, I want you to notice something right away. All right. It's really important. First, you have to read the report and do the numbers. And then you have to start reading the analyst calls. All right. Now, you had a lot of them out here. You had some at 260, 315, Citi at 300. I mean, I can name about 25 different analysts. SunTrust at 307, Deutsche Bank at 305. I can go on and on and on. As the head, as the owner of Awesome Calls, I just sit there and I study. I read everyone's opinion because these are the people I value. And then I basically evaluate the stock and give it my own value. I become like a Citicorp. I become a Goldman. I become AJ at Awesome Calls Trading. I become ACT. What does ACT view this stock being worth? ACT views this stock being worth $265 as a day trade for a day trader. And that's what I think it was worth. Um, and again, I want you to look at the idea that I've been doing this for 16 years. Okay, so a lot of newbies don't understand this. There's no way. They just kind of, actually, some of them smirk at it and just go like, you're still full of shit. Nobody could predict Avco's going to go to 265. So, I'm not going to join your room because that's just so stupid and ludicrous that you could think like that. It's not that. It's just I put in so much work researching and analyzing. And I'm one of these guys that does that. I love to read. I love my brain to keep working. That's why you can't be in rooms where they just limit you just to short a pig. I mean, your brain is got so much capacity to absorb more information, but you're being told not to because the owners of the rooms don't want you to know any more than that. They only want you to know what they know. And that's the sad thing about the trading world industry out there. If you go to each chat room out there, and honest to God, if you take a moment and just go to each and visit every room, everyone's got their forte, but nobody does it all. Nobody does it all. Nobody does the research, the homework. They just use lines. They pick 4 or 5 different trades. They stick with those. Others just short small cap. Others pump stocks. Others, you know why? Because they want to make it simple, stupid for their people for easy money. And you can't do that. You can't do that in a room like this. You can't. My job is to educate. I want the trader to know so much about the idea of what the stock can do. That way they can size in, capitalize on it, take that opportunity, buy a couple hundred shares, and know where that stock's going to go and be so proud to make 500, 800, $1,000. Because at the end of the day, if you can make 500 a day to 1,000 a day, guess what? You are a full-time day trader. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You don't need anybody to tell you where to live. You are in charge of your life. And so I got all these part-timers that do 200, 150, 300 to 400, but I want all those people to see you can do 500 to 1,000. And when you're doing 1,000 a week, you're bringing in 5 grand, and you're roughly bringing in around 15 to 20,000 a month, and you can afford to have a bad day. Okay? And imagine for a second if you were working in a workforce. Let's just say on 1,000 a day, you're making 5,000 a week. You're taking home, give or take. Then you have your taxes, depending if you have a corp and all that. But in order for you to take home $5,000 a week net check, you would need to make at least $8,000 to $9,000 a week, which is equal to about what, 30,000 to bring home 10, because the government just eats your paychecks. All right. So you in the workforce, you need to find a job that's paying you 35, 40,000 a month. You know, that's half a million a year. You know, actually more than that, right? My point is that if you're making 500 to 1,000, then you need to be presented the right opportunities. So if you have 100 shares or 200 shares to trade on a stock like an Avco, and the head guy tells you this stock is going to go to 265, now I want you to watch the stock. In the first few minutes of the opening bell, I said the stock would hit 262, right? From there, it would probably cool around and then top off at 265. That was the trade. And I want you to watch if you were in pre-market or the opening bell, okay, and you bought at the opening at 257, and if you were in pre-market at 256 or 255, which is when we were writing this, I want you to watch the first 1 minute of the open. The first 1 minute hit 262. The first 1 minute. In 1 minute, if you had 100 shares, market ordered out, you made $300 or $400. Multiply that by 2, 3, 4, or 5. Look how much money you made. Now you wait, you get the pullback, bottom curl, and now the next word was 265. Boom. Now you're at 264. And by the time it was done, the stock ended up at 265. You see that? I never once entire in my entire write-up said to short the stock. It doesn't say anything there to short the stock. It simply says long it. And the stock should be about 265. I gave it that value. And you want to see it? The stock has not budged since we gave it that 265 value. Isn't that beautiful? Now you know you're in a professional day trading room. You've elevated your world. And more importantly, you were taught how to look at that, how to trade it, where to enter, where to exit. I want you to look at Restoration Hardware. This is another one of ours. Now, yesterday, I made it very clear. I said that the stock was going to, remember we had the great earnings? In yesterday's pre-market notes, I said this stock is worth 107. I said that like I kept preaching it, I kept teaching it, I kept saying it. In my opinion, it's 105 to 107. And that's where the stock should be. Remember, I keep telling you, you have to become an analyst. You have to read the report, and then you have to give it value. Okay, that's what I do. That's so different than the whole world. After reading a report, I'm automatically giving the company what it's worth as a day trade for us for a day or two. I'm saying to myself, this company is worth $107 a share. Now, you might have upgrades to 150, 190, 200. Okay, I really don't care. I'm a day trader. I'm not marrying the stock. I'm just giving it value. So my traders are aware when they're trading this with size, they know where the stock's going to go. After it hits that, it should bottom curl and just make its move back up. But it's got to hit that first. And so I evaluated Restoration Hardware this morning again at 107. And I even told traders if it hits 105, don't worry, you can add on it. You see this? In my opinion, the stock will probably push to 110, 111 at the open, pull down to 107, bottom curl. All right, if it hits 105, add to it. So I'm giving you a little bit of room, and the stock will rebound back to 111. Okay, so read that again. I'm explaining in detail This will open up to 111. The stock's sitting at 109. So AJ, you're telling me it's going to go to 111? Yes. Okay. When it sells off, tell me exactly where it's going to go, to 107. So you're telling me it's going to stop at 107, curl, and then what? And then go back to 111? Yes. Okay. AJ, seriously, nobody can do that. There's not one fucking person in the world that can do that. If you could do that, you should be on fucking national TV. Well, this is what I do. Okay? And TV hasn't called yet. But imagine if I had my own TV station and I said that. Now you want to see the stock? You ready? Ding, 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 ding. Pop at the open, 111. Sell off, 107. Bottom curl, 111. You can't say nothing. You just stare at it. And if you're a deer in headlights, it's because you don't understand how I give things value. And that's why we do these webinars. It's imperative that you understand step by step and why I pick certain points. Now, a technical trader, which we have some of the most amazing in here, will pretty much line up what I see, and then they'll line it up off their EMAs, their VWAPs, what they see from a technical side of it, and from there they can just pretty much chart it out, which I applaud that. But for me, I'm a blank canvas. I'm an artist. I just look at it and I tell you what it's going to do. I don't need all these things technical to tell me where the stock's going to go because I feel the stock. I understand it. I have a gift. I know that. So I try to teach it every day. I'm going to show you another one that we did today that was really FVRR. Now, do you remember this one yesterday? Remember how we played this IPO yesterday? Okay. I want you to look at it today. This morning, I basically told everyone that I would long the open. I would long the open. All right. I would long the open and go to 44 a share. I made the decision the stock was going to go to 44 a share. When it hit 44, if it didn't break through it, I mean, talk about breaking through. I'm talking 500,000, a million shares. The stock was going to collapse. And the stock would come down to about $37 to $38 minimum. Okay. So if you're a short seller in here, you just bought, and you shorted this with a few thousand shares, you just bought yourself a car today just by reading the notes. I determined the reason why it would go to 44 is because after hours yesterday, it hit just under 44. This morning, it gapped up to 44. That told me the stock was in play, that I could probably get it back to 44, but then top it off and then dump it. So what I told traders to do was this. You ready? FVRR. This is gapping up $2. I want to pop at the open to 44. If it edges through, it'll stop off at 45, and the stock will come down to 37.38. This way, it told a trader he or she can make one or two out of the gate, and then pull it down 5 to 6 or more. And you want to see what happened? 44, right there, and it came down to 32. You could have covered here at 36, 35, 38. It doesn't matter. You made your money. The fact it came lower, who cares? You see that? I'll show you another one. I want you to look at a stock called GPT. Now, what's interesting about GPT is there's a lot of biotech chat rooms out there. They charge you like $300-400 a month to be in there, and they always try to sell themselves. We're so smart and we're really important. And let me tell you something. In our room, you're taught BIOS. It's part of the process. It's part of learning. All right, that's what we do in here. I want you to learn everything, everything. FDA, analysts. I want you to know every aspect of day trading. ETFs, gold, it doesn't matter. If it's moving, we're trading it. But you have to be taught how to trade it. So today, GBD gave us an update. on one of their drugs. It's right here. GBT. They had the phase 3 results on sickle cell disease. After reading the report, and yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have to read the report. I saw mixed results. So much so that I made a decision that, the stock, I would go long. It's down $4. Okay, so it's sitting at 53. I want you to long the stock, and I want you to take it to 57. After it hits that, I want you to start scaling in short, and I want you to write it back down to about 50. After reading the report, I made the decision that the mixed results gave it a $50 value. Now, you don't read the report. This is your problem as a trader. You don't care. You don't read it. You don't have time to read it. You want to be told what a stock's going to do. You want to make money. You came in here and paid $6. I better fucking make my money. You see the difference between you and me? I read the report. I read what it said. I actually took the time on this opportunity and made a decision based on what I read. This is where the stock's going to go. But do you know 90% of the traders won't trade it? Do you know why? Because they don't understand it. But if you had read it like I had read it and you hire me to give you the opportunity, then you also have to learn to trust me with the call. Otherwise, what's your point of being in here? Okay. So now let's play the trade. Okay. AJ said it would go to 57 at the open. Ding, 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 ding. AJ said long it. So here's 53, 54. AJ said go long. Whoop. There's 57. AJ said scale in short. It double topped at 57.74. AJ said it would come all the way down to 50. We didn't get quite 50, but we got 51, and then it bottomed out. Now, if this doesn't get you excited about day trading, look at this. If you took 100 shares at 57, you made $500 today on one trade. One simple trade. Because you knew where the stock was going to go, and the reason why, because the moderator did the homework for you. Okay? And then I'll close out with one more. Just because we can do that. I want you to look at two more here. Kira, and these are just little trades that I found for everyone in the room. And what's another one? Did I give ARGX? What did I say would pull down to? ARGX 120. It hit 121. Beyond moved up. NVIDIA, I said would go to 142. Yeah, 142. I want to give you NVIDIA and a stock called Kira. Okay, so let's take NVIDIA. Now, this was gapping down and getting hit on AGO. I don't know why I put, I made a P. It should have been O. AGO numbers. This was gapping down 4. So I told traders, this is going to actually, I would pop the stock and go long and let it pop to about 146. It will top off and then a slow fade to 142. And then I said to buy the weakness. Okay, you have to understand, this is 45 minutes before the opening bell. And the stock is sitting basically at 143.50. So I'm going to chart the entire play out from start to finish. Okay, so I say, you go long 143.50, look for the stock to hit about 146, scale in short, then the stock's going to smash to 142 area. You're going to bottom curl it and slow move back to the upside. You see how I said it? Buy the weakness. Okay, I want you to see how I laid that out for everyone in the room. Now I want you to see it how it works. You ready? Now we're going to go to the opening bell. Ding, 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 ding. Remember the numbers I told you. 142, 143 long, 146. Just those 3 numbers. You ready? There you go. NVIDIA. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Well, you're along here. 143.50. Right? Bam. 145.50. You scored 2 points already. Almost 3. Now you short the stock with size. What did AJ said it would do? It would come down to about a 142 area. Guess where it went? 142.80. Then AJ said I'd be buying on that weakness. Stock will go back up. And look at it, went right back up. You see how it was charted for you? Every entry, every exit, every idea, every thought, every point was given to you. So you could take advantage of that. And I'm going to give you a little small one here called Cura. This was fun for me today. And why was it fun? Because this was up on pretty kind of lame-ass PR news. This is a stock that reacts. When it gets news, it likes to overreact, okay? And so um, this actually overreacts. And so what I do as a trader is I anticipate each and every move on how it's going to react. So this was gapping up on their own PR. By doing gapping up their own PR, I made the decision that the stock would most likely gap fill to $18.75. When it goes to $18.75, I want you to start buying the stock. When it hits that $18.75, fills that gap, buy the stock, and the stock will go be right back up to 20. So I'm assuring you that if you just sat and waited for an 1875 entry, you were going to get a point and a half on the trade. And I wrote it down just like that for everyone in the room. So if you had a small account, you just waited. The stock I would short 21. I would take it to 1875 and under, bottom curl it, and go back up. So for a short seller, they can come in, size in, take it down 2 or 3 points, make a few $1,000s. If you can't short the stock, you just wait for 1875 and under, bottom curl it, and go long. Now you ready? Ding, 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 ding. And guess where it went? 1875 and under. Bottom curl it, right back up to 20. You could have literally made $1,000 on the downside and 1,000 on the upside. And one last one that's happening right now for you, ASML. This morning I told everyone to buy ASML on weakness. I made it very clear. Buy the 190, 189, whatever it hits, 190 area. By the end of the day, you're going to look up and the stock's going to be sitting at 193, 194. Why? Because what you don't understand is ASML was being hit on AFCO numbers. ASML did not do anything wrong. I keep trying to teach you this over and over and over. So, look, you're gapping down 7 points. Did they do anything wrong? No. Buy the weakness. And by the end of the day, you're going to be at 193. And by Monday, you'll be at 195. So an option player can come in here and just go, okay, when it hits 190, I'll start buying 194, 195 calls. You'd be up 200%. This is nothing. This is just a simple trade. I looked. I found it. All right. It's right here. It's not a big deal. There it is. Buy at 190 area. By the end of the day, it'll be 195. You see that? Just simple stuff. Because I understand how the market works. Every day you're going to be presented opportunities in this room. It's up to you to take and how much you want to learn from it. But my job is to help you every day become the best trader and make a living doing it and enjoy it. All right? I want you to enjoy your weekend. I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk to you. I love you all, and I hope over the weekend you come and join us and trade with us on Monday. I'll have another 12 ideas ready for you. And I really want to thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to this great webinar on how we set trades and opportunities up for everyone in Awesome Calls Trading. Thank you.